Yo, what's going on, guys? Dark Master here, and today we're going to be taking another look at Magic's Gathering Arena. And today we're going to be taking a look at a deck that I like to call Troll Time. This was a deck that I had built back when Kaldheim first dropped, and some of the first couple packs that I opened contained 3 copies of Waking the Trolls very quickly. I think within the first couple days of me playing it, I had 3 copies of this card, so I said, okay, the universe wants me to build around this, so I will do so. And it didn't go well. The deck was terrible, but it was hilarious. It occasionally worked in very, very rare circumstances. But one night recently, after I got done streaming Magic on Arena on Twitch, I raided a friend of mine, and he brought up that deck because he remembered watching me play it. He asked me if I could rebuild it. And so that's what we did here, because I think I can build it better than it was with new tools like Ren and 7 and such, but that doesn't mean it's good. I think this is actually pretty bad. I've not had a good experience in the games that I played, but it's fun just to try new things out. So that's what we're gonna do. We'll run through the whole deck on its curve and everything, but just to get the general idea of what the plan is, we're building around Waking the Trolls, 6 mana enchantment. It's a saga, so when it comes down, you immediately destroy a land. Could be yours, could be your opponent's. Ideally, you're going to want to do your opponent's. And then at the beginning of your upkeep, it'll shift over to the second lore counter, and you'll put a target land from a graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. It can be your opponent's, or it could be one from your graveyard. Ideally, I usually have no lands in my graveyard, so I usually pick theirs with the one that I destroyed. And then at the beginning of your next upkeep, it'll move over to the third lore counter, choose target opponent. In Arena, you only have 1. If they control less lands than you do, you create a number of 4/4 green tokens equal to the difference, and they have trample. Meaning, if you have 5 lands and they have 5 lands, you get 0 tokens. If you have 6 lands and they have 5 lands, you get 1 token. If you have 10 lands and they have 5 lands, you get 5 tokens. And the idea is to make as much of a difference as possible with ramp spells and a couple minor land destruction spells, mostly going to be aimed at creature lands, things like that. So running through the deck, we have Neverwinter Dryad. Only have the 1 copy at the moment because I don't know if I want to craft more. At the moment, paying 3 mana for a land does not feel good because you got to cast it, then you got to pay the 2 to sacrifice it. So I don't know. I have it in here because it's a good blocker and it does turn into a land eventually. Cathartic Pyre, 2 mana for an instant 3 damage removal spell to a creature or planeswalker. Comes in very, very handy, and it's a modal. You can discard up to 2 cards and draw that many. Any card that's modal is immediately better than... It's immediately better than the alternative. I don't know how I was going to word that. My brain kind of stopped halfway through. Having the ability to choose between either of these effects is better than just having one of these effects by a lot. Just modal things are good. Brain is not good. Druid class, this is a very important part of the deck. It's a little bit of everything. It's an enabler, it's a sustain, and it's a way to close out the game. So when you play this, anytime you put a land onto your field, you're going to gain 1 life. You can pay 3 mana, 2 and a green to level it up, and all of a sudden your druid class lets you play an additional land each time it's your turn. And that does stack, so if you have 2 druid classes, you can play 4 lands a turn. And then the third level, for 5 mana, 4 and a green, you target a land that you control, and it becomes a creature, and it gets haste, and it says this creature's power and toughness are equal to the number of lands that you control, and it's still a land itself. So we ramp up, get a lot of lands, we can target a land and make it a creature, hit really hard, usually when their defenses are down. We have 1 copy of Lotus Cobra. I've only ever opened 1, and I'm not amazed with Lotus Cobra in this deck in particular. While we are doing lots of land things, and landfall can be great, ramping is a good thing, it's not usually ramping in a way that we want, right? So on one hand, it's really good because I can get to the next threshold from 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 5, 5 to 6 easily by just playing one land. But usually what I'm doing is putting lands into play, and then I can't usually use that extra mana once I've played the spell to put an extra land into play. It just kind of goes away. So it's super useful, but it's not like, holy shit, we're popping off, boys. So it's interesting. Next up, we have Demon Bolt. 3 mana instant that deals 4 damage to target creature or planeswalker. 4 is a very, very relevant number in this standard format. Lots of things need to die, and 3 won't do it, but 4 will. And we can pay 2 mana and foretell it, for 2 mana of any color. And that makes it so that when we need to, we can just pay the 1 and basically bolt something, but even harder. Valid Recovery. Normally, I don't put in decks. I'm not a huge fan of modal dual face land cards that are not just strictly lands. This one, however, works because we have lots of things that are probably going to be either going to the graveyard naturally or being put there from our opponents. And so this is a good way to get them back to replay them, such as our Waking the Trolls. If we ever get to resolve one and it's not good enough, we could just do it again. And it is an emergency land if we need to trigger that for whatever reason. Roiling Regrowth, sacrifice 1 land, go get 2 basics. Very, very handy. Can be done at instant speed as well. Scoot Swarm, you're playing lands, you're probably going to play this. It's a great creature. At 6 lands, it stops creating these little insect tokens and instead creates copies of itself, which then multiply with the lands that you're playing. So it gets out of control very quickly. I only own the 1 copy, but it's also a little bit of a tight list, so it kind of works out as 1. This isn't the main goal of the deck, but it is a nice little lightning rod, and it's a good benefit if they don't kill it. Kazandu Mammoth, solid creature, 3 mana, 3/3, and it gets bigger whenever you play a land, and should be handy if we ever need an emergency land, although I don't like playing them as a land ever, outside of certain decks like this one. Old Growth Troll, one of the strongest green cards in the game for a standard format. 4/4 for 3 with trample. That's an amazing value, and when it dies, it even becomes an enchantment aura on one of your lands that lets you tap for double, and you can sacrifice the land and get the 4/4 token version of the troll as well, so it comes in handy later. And then we have Smashing Success, can destroy lands. We're not usually going to be going for this too much. It's mostly going to be aimed at creature lands, but occasionally we'll do things to keep them off of a source if we're behind enough. Like if they only have 1 blue land, white land, black land, whatever it is, we'll take them off that color just to keep us going for a little while. But it can also destroy artifacts, and if one is destroyed this way, we get a treasure, which will ramp us up even more. Spirit of the Older Guard is a very, very good card in this deck because it scales its power up of how many lands are in play that are snow lands, and it goes and gets a snow land whenever it comes into play. So it gets us a land, puts it to our hand, a snow land of any kind, and then it also benefits from us doing this. And 4 toughness is fairly decent. Great lightning rod as well for removal. People don't want to get hit by this thing because it hits pretty hard in this deck. Fastwood Surge, 4 mana, go search the library for 2 basics, put them on the battlefield tapped, and if you pay 8 mana instead, 4, 3 and a green, and then another 4 as just 4 of any kind, it also puts 2+1 counters on each creature you control. Not going to be super relevant in this deck because we don't usually have lots of creatures in play, but the getting 2 lands out and putting them tapped for 4 is definitely relevant. And then at 5 we have Ashaya. You're going to play lands, you're going to play Ashaya. Scales on lands, makes your creatures tap for mana should you need. Very, very good card. Brennan 7. This is one of the cards that I think in standard is a little bit overvalued and overplayed. While the token is phenomenal, many decks that play this Planeswalker don't really want to function with the rest of it. They don't synergize with the rest of the abilities. A lot of times I see this card are in shells where they don't, when they +1, they don't want those cards going to the grave, and they don't really care for the lands, so they're just plussing to keep the Planeswalker around so they can get another token. This is one of the few decks where we do want those lands in hand, and most of the cards that we're going to be milling are land or cards that would get us lands. So we're just kind of cutting out the middleman in that sense. And then if we ever have a bunch in play, or I'm sorry, bunch of lands in our hand, and the Waking the Trolls is in play before it goes away to the third chapter, if we zero the Planeswalker, put a bunch of them into play, we are going to be so far ahead. Such a good line of play. The ideal situation for a Renin 7, in my opinion, is a deck that cares about not only lands, but lots of flashback and things like that. Things that where you want them to be in the grave. That's where Renin 7 excels, in my opinion. But then we have Morag, Fury of Akum, 6 mana, 6/6 legendary Minotaur warrior, and this card is slept on so much. It wins me so many games in another deck. Whenever any creature you control attacks, it gets a +1/+0 for each time it is attacked this turn. And whenever you play a land, you get an additional combat phase after this one, if it's in your main phase. So what you do is you go through your main phase, do what you gotta do. Ideally, don't play a land, attack, swing, and then you play a land. Morag triggers, untaps all your creatures, and then you get another combat phase, and you can swing again, and you get an additional boost because you've attacked again this turn. This card gets very nutty very quickly, can take over a game out of nowhere. Obviously, Waken the Trolls, we talked about, and then Turn Timber Symbiosis, 7 mana to look at the top 7, and you may put a creature card from among them onto the battlefield. If it's mana value 3 or less, and it's a battlefield with 3/+1 counters on it, then you put the rest at the bottom. Pretty much can only hit Old Growth, Scoot Swarm, Kazandu, Lotus Cobra, or Neverwinter. Occasionally it can hit Morag, but that's very rare. And it can hit Spirit of the Elderguard. So almost certainly it'll be something that gets the 3/+1 counters on it. Not always super relevant, but can come in handy. But it is also another emergency land should we need it. And then we have 8 snow-covered mountains, 10 snow-covered forests, 1 Faceless Haven, 3 Crawling Barrens, because this comes in handy way more often than most people realize, 1 Lair of the Hydra, and 1 Den of the Bugbear, because I didn't want to take out too many basics, because we do want to be searching them up. That being said, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and get into it. Let's go ahead and play. We are going to be doing normal play mode, best of 1, because that's where it's usually easiest for me to find opponents. And it's usually faster games. There's no sideboarding, anything like that, and I don't have to worry about ranked or anything. It's just pretty simple, just play. Again, fair warning, I don't think this is going to be a super phenomenal deck. I built this on a meme, rebuilt it for a friend, and that's why we're making a video on it, just to honor that. I'm going to do my best. Sometimes I make mistakes because I'm not super familiar with this deck, seeing that it's kind of new to me because I just rebuilt it, but we'll see how it goes. Okay, first opponent comes up. Are we on? Okay, we are on the draw. Turn 1, turn 2, we do Cobra probably, then play turn 3, play Druid class, play land, then we don't really have anything to go into it until we draw into it, but this is enough mana to get us to Renin 7 if the Lotus Cobra survives, and if we draw a land we can play him, so might as well keep it. And there's a red land, so no matter what, we can play them. And it's a Lair of the Hydra. We're just gonna go ahead and... I can't quite do it. Oh, because I don't have priority. We're gonna tap it if it gives us priority again and wants to activate. There we go. Should have done that already. Okay. They tapped out. Do Lotus Cobra. They're on blue black, no snow lands, foretold one card. Could be a saw it coming. They left open the mana to do saw it coming. Alright. See if they divide by 0 or if they kill it. Oh. Soaring Thought Thief. Can trade, but they choose not to. Or not even trade, they could have just freely killed it. And they can't really do anything for 1 mana here, so we'll do this. And we'll do this, and we'll just let it fly, because can't do anything with the mana anyway. Like I was saying, it just kind of floats away. Next turn, we can play Ren and 7 if they tap out. So depending on what we draw, we will likely attack with the Lotus Cobra, and if they kill it, it's not the end of the world. We can just level up our Druid class and play 2 lanes instead of 1. If they don't kill it, we can risk the Ren, because it's not the end of the world. Another Soaring Thought Thief. They do block and kill it this time, and that's fine. Not the end of the world. Now, they will pump each other, so I'm tempted to play the Demon Bolt. Foretell this for now. I could have auto-tapped all of that. In my head I was thinking if there was a way to keep 1 mana open, but there was not. Morag with a Demon Bolt. We can Bala Ged Recovery anything we need to. Is there any reason to not play 2 lands? I don't think so. This likely get countered. Yep, saw it coming. Still holding priority, and we can leave up Demon Bolt should we need it. We'll kill one of these. They wanted both of those, apparently. There's a Wind Robber. Last Pull Mimic. Gonna copy the Soaring Thought Thief. Now this deck does not run much removal and it doesn't run any sweepers. That would be ideal. There goes Old Growth. Ooh. Do we Bala Ged that back? We won't be able to play it for a while. Ged twice, huh? So for 4 mana, we can return Didn't we? Oh, here it is. Spirit of the Oldie Guard. Him still play it. They only have 1 mana and they can sack the Wind Robber. It's pretty much what's holding up their priority. And then with this land, we can... The land that we're going to get from the Spirit, we can play it and next turn have enough to Balaged and do Ren and 7. Or maybe if we draw a land, do the Old Growth Troll thing? Not Old Growth. The other thing. Waking the Trolls. Not a land. Unfortunate. Okay, let's see. One, two, three, four, five. Unfortunate. We could start putting counters on the crawling variants, but is that lethal? 4, 8, 12. Yes, it is. Unfortunate. So yeah, if we had something like a play with fire, maybe it would work, but not play with fire. Burning down the house. But without some sort of sweeper like that, it doesn't really work super well, but I don't really want that card. So we're pretty much all in on this strategy. So it does not fare well against control decks, and it does not usually fare well against aggro decks. Okay, turn 1 Dryad, turn 2 we can leave up the fire, and turn 3 we can get to 4 mana. Alright, not a good matchup for us, as we've noticed. Anything that's blue. Let's see if they're Simic like their avatar. So far, just blue. Curate, okay. Mono blue, so could be a Drake. The Lich deck, I can't remember what it's called. Play that so it comes in untapped. Smack them. Did draw the Waking the Trolls. Or is it a Triskaidekaphobia deck? Or Triskaidekaphile? That's what it would be. Go ahead and sacrifice this. It's not going to get in to do any more damage. Four mana, we might as well foretell this. Leave up both. Well, either or. That's what I should have done. I should have paid the 2 green to foretell it, because then I could have left up both. Right? No, I can only play one either way. This would be 2. So. But next turn we can run in 7. Draw a discard. Maybe discard a spirit. Plus on counter on this. Okay. So loot, and let's see what they ship out. Are they a spirit deck? Is that what this is? Nope. They ship out a curate. It's really looking like it's a Triskaideka deck. They tapped out, so we can play red in 7. Minus, get the token. Sego.
They prepare for war.
We got rid of the one that can't be blocked. Draw a card again. Discard again. Curate again. I'm not sure what this. Oh, okay. That works, I guess. I don't know what they were. I don't know if that was a Triskaideka deck or a Lich deck. What is this card called? I cannot remember the name of it. Saved my life. At some point, I'm planning to build this. Demolich. And then, oh, I should probably also show off the Triskaideka file. I love this card. I plan to build a deck around this. I just got to figure out the best way to do it. But I'm thinking this might be what they were going for, but the problem is that I see a lot of people trying to build around this with these creatures that come in and draw a card, but you need to be up cards. You can't do these 1-to-1. Spend a card to get a card. The cantrips. It doesn't really work that way, so you're not getting any net cards that way. Let's go in for a third game here, see what we get. Good choice in Avatar, friend. Okay. Well, turn 1 we Dryad, turn 2 we Druid class, turn 3 if we don't draw a land, we sack the Dryad. If we do draw land, we play Scoot Swarm, or we Roiling Regrowth. Probably Roiling Regrowth. And then we'll just get a land later for Scoot Swarm. I never pay attention to see who's going first, but it's me. What do we got? Red. This is gonna be interesting. This. Okay. I usually only see this with mono red. I haven't seen this with black red. That's interesting. Oh. They spend the treasure to get the barbarian class. That's really odd. Okay, well, we need a land. Okay, well, that deals with Scoot Swarm fairly well, unfortunately. 4. Put me to 5. Okay. Not making it easy for me, are they? Creatures have haste. When we roll a dice, they get medicine plus up. Okay. Well, we have 2 instants, so we might as well just pass. Have to pick one of them, I think, right? Comes in tapped, yep. And that's why we hold this. Can't let them have that. Two, three, four, 5. So if we get another land, we can play Scoot Swarm and immediately copy it. It's also an instant? That is also an instant. That's exactly what I wanted to happen. I wanted them to get rid of the Shambling Gas so they can't sack it to get rid of Scoot Swarm. Didn't get a land. One land would have been so good right here. I'm gonna fill back up. Oh, they sacrificed. Oh, that's interesting. They didn't want the Kalain for some reason. Oh, because they had another Kalain. Alright, let's get rid of their source of card draw here. Probably gonna sack it to something. Oh, they're just gonna value as much as they can. Sack the Kalain. Alright. They tapped out. This is the time. Give me a land. It's not a goddamn land. You're killing me. Alright. We're gonna play for it. I shouldn't have even let him do it. Oh well. That's what it is. I should have killed it before it went to attacks. They are severely outramping the ramp deck. They even have more basics. That's a land, but it comes in tapped. Okay. Well, it is what it is. Ideally, they don't kill both of them. It's not good. I'm out of removal. Take 10. That one goes away. Damn. Unfortunate. Oh, it's gonna have menace. GG. Forgot about that. Yeah, another really bad matchup. So yeah, only deck we won against was the one that didn't really do anything. We didn't get a game with the troll enchantment, so we're gonna try to play until we get at least that. Run, Judas, run. All right. On one hand, I like it. On the other hand, I don't. Because we can't cast this for a while, but maybe that's okay. I don't know. We'll keep it. We might sacrifice the Crawling Barrens. Okay. Renaissance, black Snowland with blue. Okay. Let's see what this is. Stitcher deck. Can only cast the one. Not looking good. It's another really bad matchup. We are just not having a good time here, are we? Okay, so he just wanted to get more zombies. Yeah. Three or more creature tokens. Well, we can kill it. In response. Should probably have killed that already. Interesting. Okay. Worst case scenario, I can double block the 10-10. 3, 6, 7, 8, 12. Got death touch, so it's fine. We're just going to have to take the 5. Unfortunate. Yeah, that's pretty much it. We didn't get there. Still, can't get the wake in the trolls. This is the problem with playing a deck that relies around one singular strategy. Yum yum. Okay, we have it in hand, but we don't have the necessary means to get there. I can't realistically keep this. Looking better. We kind of have to ship this back though. Unfortunate. I guess I could have sent that back, but well, that's not good. If we draw green source, we play the troll. If we don't, we play the mammoth. Okay. Okay, I'm not sure if they're a party deck or not because they just blocked with their cleric. Not sure what this deck is. Well, at the moment it's a race. Can chump with the Cobra should I need to. Nope. Okay, so we're just gonna take 3 probably. That's unfortunate. So now we probably don't win. If they do that, that's a mistake because that's got trample. They could have blocked literally anything else and lived. Alright, well. As you can see, the deck doesn't really do well unless the opponent severely makes a mistake. Because I deserve to die there, so. Yeah, I'm not a fan of this deck. Kind of bad. So we went, what was that, like 2-2 or something like that? 2-3? I don't know. But it's not ideally built. It's built out of what I have on my free-to-play account. I've spent literally 0 money on this, so it is what it is. I don't recommend building this. Cool card to build around, but in this current meta especially, not gonna work. I'm also normally a control player, so it's not really how I like to play. I very much like to have more removal for things, so maybe we'll upload one of my newer control decks the next time I make a Magic video, probably next week, so we'll have to see. But hopefully you enjoyed that at least a little bit. Hopefully get some sort of entertainment out of me struggling and losing a lot and getting weird wins that I didn't deserve. But that being said, ladies and gentlemen, that's pretty much it from me today. If you liked this video, or if you didn't, please hit one of the corresponding buttons below, because any sort of feedback is greatly appreciated. It lets me know the kind of content that you're looking for, that you like. That way I can tailor it to what you need. And if you like this or any other sort of content involving Magic, we do lots of that, not only on the YouTube channel, but on the stream. So you can feel free to subscribe or hit the link below to go over to the Twitch channel. If you do subscribe, make sure that if you want notifications, you can hit the bell. That way you know exactly when we make an upload. And yeah, that's pretty much it. If you guys want to see any other kind of deck, that's the other thing. If there's anything you want to see my particular take on in this free-to-play account, I don't have everything. I can't build it ideal, but I can build what I have available to me with a few crafting things here and there, should I be able to do it. But any deck ideas that you would like to see, please feel free to comment below. And I believe that actually would be it. So, ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate you for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.